Hey Geeks, it's Minx. Here to give you your Sunday video, which is going to be a Once Upon a Time review, or Once Upon a Review. Just finished watching the latest episode, which was called Unforgiven. So it's kind of... this is probably going to be our Sunday video for the next few weeks. Work has been kind of crappy. For me and Rev, and we haven't been able to sync up to do our usual filming, because we usually film on Sundays. But you'll still get a video on Sundays. It'll just probably be my Once Upon a Reviews. Anyway, with that said, spoiler warning, if you didn't catch the episode tonight, don't watch this video. Because I'm definitely going to get into spoiler territory, because I want to pick apart some things and talk about some things and just things. So anyway, it was called Unforgiven. Craziness. There was a lot of Prince Charming and Snow White in this episode, which they're not my favorite characters in the slightest. I'm not huge on them at all, to be honest. They just they kill me. They kill me. They really kill me. After like 2 seasons worth of "I will always find you," I just want to punch them in the face. They're supposed to be like the embodiment of good and all that is great and heroes and us, but they're kind of not. Like, they're starting to show kind of darker sides, which is kind of cool, I guess. Things that bothered me... Okay, I'm gonna just get into it. The things that bothered me in this episode is, you spend, 3.5 seasons touting the fact that Emma, the savior, has a, special power, essentially, where she can tell if someone's lying. Like straight up, human lie detector. The entire show was people lying to her. I don't understand that. Like, why would you think you'd get away with that? Like, she can freaking tell. And then you make her doubt her own self. That's irritating as all fuck, man. Jeez. Okay. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, and I'll probably rant about that a little bit more, but now that I've got that out of the way, the show opened up tonight with kind of a nightmare sequence with Snow White waking up. Prince Charming's not in bed next to her, so she goes and checks on baby Neil, and which I still find kind of icky, considering that was Emma's love interest. And then they name her baby brother after him because he died. That's awkward. But anyway, neither here nor there. And all of a sudden, Maleficent's there, and she's warning her, like, "Bitch, I'm gonna make you hurt," and everyone's gonna, you're gonna go through all this pain, blah blah blah. Kind of cliche, and didn't really do much for me, which sucks because I love Maleficent as a character. And then of course she really wakes up and almost the exact same thing happens, and then she's like, "Oh, Prince Charming's on the stairs, he's not gone or anything," and so they're talking about it and they're like, "Oh, we need to know what they're up to because they're villains and they've got to be up to something," which of course, duh. You take one look at friggin' Carilla's eyebrows and you know that bitch is up to something. But yeah, so they just... Yeah, I can't stand them. I cannot stand those two. I mean, I'm sure for some people out there they are an OTP, but... Bleh. I mean, it's cute that they're together in real life, but I just... They're gag-worthy. Like, they're so gag-worthy for me. Getting to see... The meat and the juiciness of the episode didn't really happen until almost the end, unless the scenes featured Regina. Um, Again, more amazing character development for her. That was super exciting. She also had some amazing one-liners. I mean, her being a rude ass bitch to Pinocchio because he can't remember anything because he's a kid again. He's not August anymore. It's kind of like they de-evolved him. In a way, they de-aged him when he became Pinocchio. When the Blue Fairy did her magic. Her being a total raging bitch, was like, oh, hints at Evil Queen again. But I loved the fact that she went to Geppetto afterwards and was like, look, I'm trying, this is really hard for me. I'm trying to say I'm sorry. I know I was being a bitch, and I'm sorry. Everything's all my fault. And if if someone had talked to my kid that way, I would have done a hell of a lot worse. And, pretty much, you're a cool dude, for not busting my chops harder than you did, and and the fact that Geppetto just kind of cracked, and it kind of shows like how the power of I'm sorry can have, like, if it's a genuine look, I was a dick, I'm sorry, and then immediately Geppetto was like, you know what, okay, I totally understand, you're under a lot of pressure, here's some shit, it might help you. It's kind of cool. Got the saddlebags. Got some of August's notes. So we'll see what happens with that. From the looks of it, it looked like there was a page in there with a intricate red door with some kind of design on it that said author. They had a post-it said author on it. So that was kind of interesting. Hook being forthcoming about his background with Ursula, not really surprising. Plus the fact, it's not really surprising that he knows her, because she was supposedly the goddess of the sea. He's a fucking pirate. 2 and 2 together. Hi! They obviously are gonna know each other. So that didn't really surprise me. The fact that he probably did the deed with her is where I think I'm leaning towards, and I think Emma is too. And you got to see a little jealousy spike there. They're still fucking adorable, those two. I didn't really like how the way they stretched out the whole secret that Prince Charming and Snow White have, and what they did to the villains, and why the bitches hate them, and why they were particularly mad at Maleficent, and oh my god, why was this so bad, and whatnot. And it's like, the way they drew it out was kind of dumb. Especially when they bring Maleficent back by, like, the halfway point of the show, of the episode. Like, I feel like that was way too easy. I feel like it was really way too easy. Plus the fact, it kind of defeats the purpose of last episode. Gold was telling Rumpel straight up telling Ursula and Cruella, mingle, make friends, make relationships with people. Because eventually this is all going to come to play, and it's like, the very next episode you're bringing back Maleficent, like Prince Charming and Snow White and Emma and them aren't going to know that bitch is back. And that, the other freaking villains are actual villains? Like, how is that going to help them, make friends and shit? I thought they were going to, have a better build-up, So that was a little bit disappointing. Granted, the truth behind it all was kind of a... and then the significance of the dragon's claw with the little orb in it almost made me cry when she puts it back together and shakes it, and it turns out to be a fucking baby rattle. The fact that Maleficent was pregnant right before the curse was going to happen, and that somehow Prince Charming and Snow White are responsible for her losing the child is kind of heartbreaking. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I like villains a lot more than some of the heroes, because some of the heroes are just whiny babies. But I was just like, oh my god, she was preggers, and then she lost the baby, and then she shakes that rattle, and I'm just like, oh my god, oh my god. One of the funnier moments, probably the funniest moment, and like I said, like I said in my last Once Upon a Review, Regina gets like the best one-liners. She's like the Tyrion of Once Upon a Time, and I love it when she was like being told by Snow White, yeah, they're up to something. They brought back Maleficent, and she was like, I should have known that. She goes, I should have known that fish sticks and pound puppies was what we're up to something. And it was just like, oh my god, it's almost like, see bitch, It's like, she gets the best freaking lines, and I fucking adore her. Oh my god. Overall, I'd give the episode a B. I mean, I think the effects were a little meh. The CGI was a little meh. Way too much friggin' Prince Charming and Snow White for my taste. Granted, other people might disagree. That's fine. I can't stand them. They just... Snow White was okay, but like, Prince Charming was just too whiny of a character. I will find you. I'm still not terribly impressed with Ursula and Cruella, and Maleficent is growing on me a little bit, like, finding out the motivation that she was actually preggers. I want to know who the father is, definitely. It's like, who baby daddy? Who is the baby daddy? I also want to know if it's true that she actually lost her child, like a miscarriage, or, miscarriage/sacrifice, or if the child is actually, like, one of the other fairy tale people. Like, if because they have a way of doing twists and turns and tying shit together like that. So it's like, wouldn't that be fucking wickedly crazy if, like say, Aurora were her kid? That'd be fucking nuts. I'm not sure how I feel about the whole, all of a sudden emphasis that Emma could become a villain or whatever. It's like, yeah, the greatest of good has its equal, its counter, its counterweight, which is the greatest of bad. So, yeah, it totally makes sense that it would be in the same person. Everyone has the potential for good and the potential for bad. I think Snow White was even the one who told that to Regina, that, you're not completely bad and I'm not completely good. It's the truth in life. Even good people have done bad things, and bad people have done great things. It's just... The way they're playing it up, though, I'm just... I feel like they're gonna build it up to where she could totally become evil, and then yank the rug right out from under you, and all of a sudden it's somebody else. Because they do that, and they fucking just rip your heart out, because they're bastards. I give the episode a B. Still not really gelling with the Queens of Darkness. So far they're kind of weak. I want to see them actually being dark and Queens of Darkness. Looking at the previews for next week's episode, Snow White is putting Regina out there to go, like, undercover and try and put herself in with the villains to figure out what the fuck they're doing. I swear, if they take all of that character development that they've put into Regina and making her, like, an anti-hero, and they dash it, I swear, I don't know what I'm gonna do, because that's fucking retarded. She is like the best written character on that entire damn show. She has had the most changes and the most growth. And if they take it all and ruin it by making her go evil again, I'm gonna scream. Like, I am going to lose my shit. Now, I'm okay with them making her look evil. You know, where in reality, like, we have like a small scene or something where we know she's just faking it. But I don't want her to go back to being evil. She's that delicious character with a past that she's not proud of, but she genuinely wants to change. She genuinely wants a happy ending, and it's like, I want to see her fucking get that. Like, I want to see her get it. So, I hope they don't fuck that up, because that's a lot of work. That's over that's 3.5 seasons worth of work of getting her from purely evil to going on the good side. So, I don't want to see them ruin that. I don't want to see Will Scarlet with Belle. I think it's gross, because I don't really care for him as a character either. I feel like that was, the kissing part was some sort of illusion, some trick being played on him. I want to see those two back together. Like, I want to see him knock down a couple of pegs and get some humility, so that they can be on equal footing, but I want to see them back together. I want to see Robin come back for Regina. I want that so bad. You know, it was heartbreaking when she was telling Henry that the closest she's ever been to being happy was when it was her, him, Roland, and Robin. And it's like, oh, why you gotta do it? Why you gotta do this to me? So yeah, I give it a B. I'm looking forward, of course, to next week's episode. I will be doing a Once Upon a Review next Sunday, and as well. Hopefully, as long as my work schedule's not all jacked up. If not, it'll be Monday night for sure. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. Little bit on the slow side. Some of the build-up, the way they're building things up is a little off from the amazingness I'm used to seeing. But then again, I'm pretty critical. They're getting into my favorite fairy tale character in Maleficent, and you know, I look forward to seeing what they do. Hopefully they smooth it out a little bit. I feel like it's a little bit rough, but they got plenty of time. So yeah, there we go. That's it. See you soon. Later, geeks.